He keeps insisting on the rules. There are truly many doubts. Coincidentally, Jason's phone got broken. While fixing his phone, the clerk informed him, "There's spyware on your phone." Finally, he uncovered the truth. It was Officer Yi scheming behind the scenes. Jason then planned. He fed false information to the phone, luring Officer Yi out. At the dock, the master and disciple meet. Jason indignantly questioned his master about why he did this. The master had to reveal his past. In 1990, his wife lost a large sum. They were driven to desperation by loan sharks. At a crucial moment, a real estate mogul, who was Mr. Deng, extended a helping hand. He handed him a big amount to solve his urgent problem. But dealing with the devil comes at a cost. Mr. Deng wants Officer Yi to cover up a crime. The fire case at the Skyline building. It's labeled an accident. Officer Yi revealed a shocking truth in the fire investigation group. He and firefighter Jen, who is also Tianing's father, both faked it. Later, Chang was killed by a killer. For all these years, Officer Yi has lived in fear. He said, "It's not the top puppet master. There's deeper treachery behind." So, even if Mr. Deng died in 1996, Officer Yi is still controlled by a group. To save his own shady dealings, he has to pay more and more. He helps this group with their agenda, forcing him to confess. Officer Yi can't afford more errors. He contemplated suicide, but Jason stopped him, urging him to decide what to do. A few hours later, Officer Yi sent Jason to his home, saying he'd show him all the proof. But when Jason arrived, Officer Yi was found dead at home, with a gunshot wound to his forehead. He had been dead for a while. Just like that, Jason was once again framed as the murderer. He faced police scrutiny. Jason had to rely on himself. So, while eating, he forced down a plastic spoon to make himself vomit. At the hospital, to meet Buddy Ryan. Originally, under heavy guard, he had no way to escape. But Mike appeared in that hospital as well. Kingming's partner pursued him, giving Jason a chance to flee. Later, Jason and Mike met through a locked door. Then he understood. Mike actually came to help him escape. It turned out Mike wanted Jason to collaborate to learn the truth of the fire. But Jason refused. Violence is not the answer. He wanted his own way. Though he was turned down, Mike still left the door code for Jason. Jason then escaped the police trap, returned to Officer Yi's for another look. He found a secret nook in Officer Yi's. He found a piece of evidence left behind. It was glasses. This is covert police tech. The glasses conceal the camera. Using his undercover role, he filmed a criminal hideout of an underground group. That night, Kate arrived at Officer Yi's home. She caught Jason. In a panic, Jason could only tell her the truth. He's her long-lost father. Kate initially didn't believe his words, but she sensed something. From the moment she first met Jason, she felt he was familiar. She felt a strange bond with him, yet she was also filled with anger. She couldn't understand why she felt this way. In her confusion, she couldn't shoot Jason. Jason escaped under her gun. After getting home, he looked up Ethan Young online. She found his identity true. He looked exactly like the missing Ethan. Tianing also confirmed this. In the video left by Officer Yi, Marcus spotted some takeout boxes, and there was the restaurant's sign. So he set up a stakeout at that restaurant's location. Especially those with many takeout. He thought these crooks won't expose their hideout. They'll just send someone for food. Meanwhile, Officer Yi's past phone location records to locate the same spot. In the probe, they heard sounds of fighting and shouting from a nearby house. With the camera, they feared tipping them off. Sure enough, inside the house was Marcus. He faced the crooks inside. He tricked them, he'd sell out the force, and worked with the ringleader because police had surrounded it, and he knew where Mike was. Once the people heard, they took the proof and fled. Wanted to take Wongo to find Max Lee. Of course, Wongo didn't really know where Max was. He just wanted out. In the old school, he seized the guard's gun. Though he let one escape, he still placed the tracker on the other. He also found the dashcam in the enforcer's car. Among them, there was a video of the enforcer killing Officer Yi. The tracker finally disappeared into the sea. Looks like the guard got away by boat. Thus, there was new progress in the big fire case. Guango was cleared of suspicion, but soon, the body of that enforcer was found. He was killed by the gang. It seems they would kill those who got exposed. Police trapped info from that day. They found that when the enforcer disappeared at sea, only one yacht left the port. The yacht owner is a wealthy man named Stone Dazzy. Too bad, no matter the questioning or probe, the police found no evidence of wrongdoing against Stone. But Tynan looked at Stone. He recalled his childhood. In 1990, Steve Shi lured him with toys. He deceived him to hang out. At that time, Raya's father was investigating a big fire case connecting these two events. Steve Shi had kidnapped him when he was completely clueless. He forced his dad to lie. Tiny's father was a firefighting hero, but for his son's safety, his report was tarnished. He felt guilt for life until he was murdered. Tynan exploded at Steve Shi. He was stone cold calm. Faced with clear villains, he felt helpless. It couldn't be more painful. In the sunlight, the light made Tynan think straight. His dad wasn't corrupt at all. He was just coarse. He was still a good person at heart. The Sunshine Trio boosted their morale. Later, they found Steve Shee and his wife in a plot in secret dealings with an underground group, but they haven't solved it yet. And the turning point came. Steve Shee called the cops. His wife, last night, tied in their bed, which caused her to bleed out. Half the bed was stained with blood. The whole night, she didn't make a sound. On this day, Dr. Chen came to the site himself. In the past, he never took direct action, but this day, he came. After his checkup, she indeed died post-anesthesia. Seeing this, Steve Shee was terrified. Worked with the police, uncovered the arson mastermind, but just as he was turning around, he collapsed in his own walk-in closet. It was Dr. Chen. How did he get here so fast? Further checks show Steve Shee died from a strong poison. Many suspect the killer is Mike. During the day, he left poison in Steve Shee's cup. He killed Steve Shee, but Jason says something was off because this didn't match Mike's killing style. Instead, he started to suspect Dr. Chen. But soon, Dr. Chen was drugged with a syringe by Mike. He got snatched. Jason and his daughter Kate searched everywhere. They returned to the abandoned fortress where Mike first hid. Sure enough, they found a beaten Dr. Chen. Mike had escaped again. Lest Dr. Chen wakes up, he stated that Mike captured him to find out if Steve Shee said anything to him before dying. It seems Mike wants to take revenge on more masterminds. Moreover, a bad Mike left behind. The police found the poison that killed Steve Shee. This seemingly cleared Dr. Chen's guilt completely. Soon, Dr. Chen proposed an idea to Kate to move the family back to Canada to dodge these perilous fights. Kate understands her father's fear from being kidnapped, but her mind is focused on solving the case. She refused to quit halfway. Later, Kate told Jason about this. Jason didn't oppose it, because he always hoped his daughter would find her own happiness. Kate realized Jason genuinely wants her well. True love may be silly, but it's not about controlling her. During their chat, Jason talked about how he met his wife. Kate heard tales of a mom she can't recall, which moved her somewhat. Tears welled up in her eyes. Though she forgets who her mother is, these memories about her resonated with her deeply. Father is the sun, daughter the stars, mother should be the moon. Dark clouds have hid the moon too long, but deep down, Kate wants her just like Jason. She misses her so much. By day, Jason and Kate learned from Mike's sister that they found a new clue. Mike had two acquaintances when he was in school. One was his tutor, and the other was a classmate who had harassed him. They found this classmate first at her home. They indeed found Mike, the one who kidnapped her child. This time, he performed like Jackie Chan. At last, they captured Mike. Mike took the blame for all the crimes. But when he reenacted the crime, Wando found some flaws. The second victim of 1993 fell to his death. But when Mike acted it out off the building, the landing position was closer than it should have been. He had young people tested along several times. They all landed very close to cops. Their landing positions were even closer to reality. Looking at Mike's motive, he had no ties to any Junction fire victims. His motives concerning the Junction fire are lacking. They aren't enough. Therefore, Wando deduced Mike has an accomplice. But whatever they ask, Mike won't say who the partner is. Jason decides to investigate Mike's past. His mom was very cruel to him. She even fed his pet puppy to a pig. They bullied him at home with their mom. At school, Mike was bullied by classmates and scorned by teachers. In a cold and harsh environment, Mike was inclined toward self-harm. He got help from a tutor who cared. He survived. During a performance outside, an assassin tried to kill Mike from the shadows. This was sent by the group behind the fire case. The mastermind never wanted Mike to be caught. They just wanted to silence him, fearing he might reveal evidence about them to the police. On that day, the assassin almost killed Mike. Thank goodness Jason took a bullet for him. From then on, Mike saw Jason differently. This person isn't like the others, who see him as a devil. In the past, he had many ties with Jason. Now he has this help. Mike is a bit shaken.